Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Three topics for this video. The first one has to do with the Ukrainians, supposedly, using long-range missiles, Western long-range missiles, to attack Russia. The Russians claim they downed about 8 US-made long-range missiles. Now, do you remember what the Russians said they will do in case these guys are going to hit targets inside Russia with Western weapons? Exactly. They worked on their nuclear missiles doctrine, their nuclear doctrine. They lowered the threshold. That means we can use it. Do you remember Oreshnik? You know what it is? The hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missile with a potential of about, what, 500 kilometers, I think it was, or miles. Doesn't really matter at this point. So the Russians told these guys, if you do this, we're going to strike this, and these guys are doing it. What does it mean? Do they think the Russians can't do that, won't do that, or they want the Russians to do that? We're going to discuss that. That's the first topic. The second one is the French stick their noses. I mean, the French won the last war, I can't remember when, but nevertheless, the French sent Mirage 2000 to Ukraine. The Mirage 2000 jet fighters are on their way, as we speak, to Ukraine. What do you think will happen? And we find out that America, Mr. Blinken, is concerned by Russia's nuclear doctrine. So you're concerned about the Russian nuclear doctrine, but then you allow these guys to strike with your weapons, and the consequence of that, the Russians told you that they will possibly nuke someone, or maybe use Oreshnik, hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles, to strike NATO bases where these guys are shooting from, or whomever supports them. What is this? All right, let's go to the first article. CNN. Russia vows retaliation. They told them what they're going to do after saying it downed 8 US-made long-range missiles. Russia has vowed retaliation after claiming to have shot down 8 US-made ATACMS missiles fired by Ukraine on Saturday morning. Moscow sees the use of such missiles, which have a range of up to 300 kilometers, 186 miles, as a major escalation, and they told them what they're going to do about it. The country's air defense shot down the 8 ballistic missiles alongside 72 aircraft-type unmanned aerial vehicles, Russian Ministry of Defense said. It added that these actions by the Kiev regime, which is supported by Western curators, will be met with retaliation. What do you think they will be doing? Well, right here. Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened to respond to Ukrainian strikes using ATACMS with Russia's new nuclear-capable ballistic missile, Oreshnik. So, you got it? Russians and bomb people, boop. So what do you think? They struck on November 21st, the first time they used an Oreshnik on Ukraine's Dnipro as an example. You can't down it. I think it didn't even have an explosive warhead. It was just to show these guys, stop. All right, what do you think will happen? The Russians will strike something with Oreshnik, or maybe something that will mirror an atomic tactical nuclear weapon detonation. They said it. So someone doesn't get it, or doesn't want to get it, or wants this to happen. I think the last option. That's my personal assessment on that. And here we have this baboon right here. His name is Blinken Stein, like Zelensky Stein, one of, U.S. concerned by Russia's nuclear doctrine. Why? They told you. The Russians told you. You do this, we have to adapt. And they still did it. The Russians told you, you hit with ATACMS on our territory, we will retaliate with our doctrine. They don't care? I think they don't care, and they want this to happen. I think the Ukraine war was very much planned, and eager beavers somewhere who now they, how do you call this, luckily, by chance, make huge profits. Like you and I. We win lotteries every day just by luck. But these industries, like the international banking system and military industrial complex and the energy industries, they just happen to be in the middle of it. It's a war, man. It's just, that's a consequence, Emil. I mean, it's the war and these guys come to help. You think that's the way it was? Or the other way around? I think the other way around. Am I allowed to have this kind of gut feelings? I think I am. All right, let's go to the next topic. Russian military says Ukraine's ATACMS attack on Belgorod region will not go unanswered. So what do you think that is? Let me show you where Belgorod is. That is a northern region of, in the east part of Ukraine. Let's put it this way. So here is Belgorod, is south of Kursk. This is Kursk, this is Belgorod, this is Ukraine, this is line of contact, this is the Crimean Peninsula, this is the Black Sea, this is Romania. All right, just so you know where it's at. So they struck inside Russia. Now, if you punch me, I will punch you back. I give the Ukrainians that 100%. What I don't give, not the Ukrainians, the guys who are striking Russia through the Ukrainians with their weapons, you should be on the list of enemies. That means I can punch you. This is I always think about the Western countries that like to use proxy wars to have other people fight their interests wars. Like a tiger in a circus. Tiger or lion, tamer, or how you call that guy. It has two items. So the guy is the United States of America or Great Britain together with NATO, whatever it is, the Western, And then they have the proxy guys, the guys that will fight for them. Not them, in this case it's Ukraine. And they have a long pole, about, 9 feet long pole, that they poke the lion or the tiger, and a long whip. I've seen this as a child, so that's why. Now the tiger or the lion focuses on what hurts. On try to catch the whip or try to get the pole. Sometimes it gets it, and at times they realize that actually it's the guy behind using them to punch and to command me and to destroy me. And then sometimes the lion or the tiger launches to the tamer, and the guys with the water hose try to, if they have time, save the tamer. So the same here. Russia is the tiger or the lion or the bear, and these guys are with the pole, with Ukraine, and the whip, long whip. And sometimes the tigers get the whip and they kill the whip, but not the tamer. So, of course, the tamer is the originator. So when these guys are using those guys as weapons, which is whatever it is, remember, it's you. Without this guy here, these things would not kill people. You remember, guns can kill people. Just drop one here, it's not going to kill anybody. So other people do that. So the same here. Without those weapons, these attacks would not occur within Russia. I have no problem with the Ukrainians returning their Russian favor. But to tell me that these guys are not involved and the Russians should not to them, I think it's baboonish. But hey, it seems like the Russians are much, much smarter than me. Not hard to be. So let's see what the French are sticking their garbage nose in this. New Voice of Ukraine, Mirage 2000 jets with missile capabilities heading to Ukraine. Okay, good for you. You're going to be down like the F-16s, and then you're going to say it was just a friendly fire or something, and they will be put down and put in the hangars somewhere hidden, like it was, you remember, the Challenger 2 tank, the British mighty Challenger tank. It got blown up by the Russians when the first attack, and then the Brits told the Ukrainians, don't use the Challenger 2 tanks in risky operations. Do you mean in the war? Yeah, so then they put him somewhere else for about 3 months. They thought, what is a risky operation? Maybe, I don't know, send him to Warsaw or something on a parade. That would be no risky operation. So the same, I think, will happen with the Mirage. But these guys want to test their capabilities and obviously look and monitor the Russians' answer, how they react. Ukraine's Air Forces is set to receive its first 3 Dassault Aviation Mirage 2005 F fighter jets in January. All right, so good for them. I say here around 10 aircraft of this type are expected to be delivered. This is just a test. They want to see how the Russians react. You know, I throw this a jab, I see what your reaction, bam, I see what you react, how you, and then bam, get you. This is what they try in the real fight, which is not going to happen because the Americans will never, the Westerners, that's what it is, never encounter the Russians head on a battlefield. Not because they're weak or something, but why not use the baboons, right? Why not? And exactly what happens. And the baboons in this case happen to be those beautiful, you know who. And if they want tomorrow the Romanian baboons to be activated, they will be. If they want the Polish baboons to be activated, they will be. If they want the Baltic states baboons, they will activate them. And they will all fight for our values, our families. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.